For 15 years, West Bengal was an impenetrable political fortress. Under the iron grip of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and her Trinamool Congress, the state stood as a glaring holdout against the ruling National Party's expansion across India. On May 4, 2026, the Bharatiya Janata Party breached the walls, capturing 207 out of 294 seats. To compound the devastation, the sitting chief minister lost her own home constituency of Bhabanipur to a political defector. An incumbent typically concedes a loss of this magnitude and transitions power. Banerjee entrenched herself. She refused to resign, publicly declaring the election an illegitimate capture orchestrated by federal authorities. Her grievance centered on a quiet bureaucratic process executed months before the polls. It is called the Special Intensive Revision. Between the draft rolls and Election Day, 9.1 million voters were systematically struck from the records. Making sense of this historic collapse requires looking well beyond the ballot box. We need to audit a controversial data algorithm, trace the steps of a regional defector, and unpack a constitutional standoff that brought the state to a standstill. The Election Commission designed the Special Intensive Revision as a routine administrative cleanup. The stated goal was to purify the electoral rolls by removing duplicate entries, ghost voters, and deceased citizens. This diagram visualizes the sheer scale of the 2026 cleanup. Out of a total electorate of 76.6 million people, the revision triggered roughly 9.1 million gross deletions, resulting in over 6.6 million net removals. That is 12% of the voting population erased. This scatterplot maps those exact deletions against the actual election results. Look at these 105 data points. In every one of these seats won by the BJP, the total number of deleted voters was larger than the candidate's margin of victory. Critics quickly pointed to the AI system used to flag what the commission called logical discrepancies. They argue the algorithm failed to understand regional Bengali naming conventions and family structures, leading to the mass, disproportionate disenfranchisement of minority voters and traditional TMC strongholds. With so many deleted voters overlapping with razor-thin victory margins, the math creates a permanent statistical fog. It becomes impossible to definitively separate a genuine wave of voter dissatisfaction from mass algorithmic disenfranchisement. To actually win those votes on the ground, the BJP deployed a highly specific strategy, often called the Himanta model. When the party lacks an authentic local face in a region, they recruit a powerful, entrenched leader from the opposition to lead the charge. In West Bengal, that leader was Suvendu Adhikari. Once Mamata Banerjee's chief political strategist and trusted right hand, Adhikari defected to the BJP, turning his deep insider knowledge against his former boss. He brought assets the National Party desperately needed: fierce credibility from rural land rights movements in Nandigram, a comprehensive understanding of the TMC's ground operation, and a unique ability to weave Hindu nationalism directly into Bengali regional pride. Adhikari provided the exact insider credibility required to tear down a deeply rooted 15-year regime. He dismantled her machine from the inside out. Winning the mandate did not guarantee a peaceful transfer of power. Refusing to acknowledge the electoral math, Banerjee remained in her position, creating a tense democratic vacuum inside the state's highest offices. The deadlock required a severe intervention. The governor of West Bengal exercised a rare federal power, invoking Article 174 of the Constitution to unilaterally dissolve the 17th Legislative Assembly and forcefully clear the path for a new government. The normal process of conceding an election had completely failed. It took a constitutional mandate to forcibly pry the outgoing administration from power. When the new government finally took the oath of office before a massive crowd at the Brigade Parade grounds, the celebration was immediately shadowed by visceral, district-level violence erupting across the state. The unrest escalated into targeted political killings. Hitmen on motorcycles bearing fake license plates assassinated Chandranath Roth, the incoming chief minister's close personal aide, at point-blank range. The tremors of this turbulent transition extend far beyond state lines. The new administration immediately consolidates control over India's eastern border, promising strict crackdowns on immigration that will reshape diplomatic relations with Bangladesh, while permanently weakening the national opposition bloc. The numbers show a highly effective political strategy, capturing one of India's most complex states. But this sweeping victory carries a dark asterisk. It is a mandate born out of millions of missing voter records and secured through a transition defined